All right, it is just straight up 8 o'clock according to my satellite controlled clock. So I think that I will say thank you, all of you, for joining us for what's going to be a very exciting evening. And I'm going to turn the meeting over immediately to Matthew Kinnard, who is one of our chairpersons, and Cindy hopes to join him a little later on. So Matthew, take it away, the huddle for 2020.
Thank you, Betty, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters. It is very exciting to see so many faces here on Hot Topics this evening. A little different, the huddle this year. And why is it different? Well, because 2020 has been a roller coaster of a year, very obviously. When we began planning the huddle shortly after November of last year, we fully intended and fully expected that we would be meeting in full force and be meeting at Grandview University. But then March happened, and then April, and suddenly plan after plan had to become our plan B, then C, and we worked our way through the alphabet all the way down to Z, which was very exciting to know that we could make it that far. But we were very excited to reach Z and be able to come together with the District 19 2020 Fall Hybrid Huddle. For this year, we are very excited to bring the huddle not only in person, but be able to bring it via a virtual platform. We will be using Zoom, so that way individuals who wish to attend from the comfort and security of their own home are still able to do so and still be a part of District 19 through that event. All of our events are streamed this year, and with that, they will also be recorded. So that way, individuals who are unable to attend the huddle can still, after a couple weeks' time, go back to our District 19 YouTube page and be able to see those. Once those are fully recorded, processed, and edited, those will be uploaded and announced to the district. Our theme for this year are the building blocks of Toastmasters. As you've seen from some of our marketing, a lot of Toastmasters is built around communication, leadership, and very much the Toastmasters way. Our creed, a lot of our principles that we build Toastmasters upon are reflective of what this huddle is. On the District 19 website, we've been able to get posted the schedule, and you'll see that in each of those tracks, communication, leadership, and the Toastmasters way, those programs are built to build on top of one another, much in the same way that our educational programs do, much in the same way that our leadership or our ladder of leadership within Toastmasters do as well. In our communication path, you begin with building a best speech and work all the way to how to perform that speech in essentially the most professional and eye-attractive way possible. In leadership, you'll learn a little bit about how to map your leadership, or how to map your personal or professional career and develop it from there as well, leading all the way to a little program about how Toastmasters can build outwards into other programs, such as Rotary. And of course, in our Toastmasters program, we will begin with the Toastmasters Essentials, with pathways as well as Membership 101 for new individuals that you may have as a part of your club, then tracking all the way down to Leadership 101, and really developing a base of leadership to be able to say, I am excited about Toastmasters and I'm ready to continue to develop in this program. It wouldn't be a fall conference and it wouldn't be a gathering if, of course, we didn't have a Hall of Fame session. We're very eager to say that our Hall of Fame session will also be online this year, as well as recorded. Our Hall of Fame at the spring conference had to be canceled due to COVID. However, we are very excited that immediate past district director Teresa Michelson will be presenting some awards that should have gotten recognized at the spring conference here at the fall huddle. Individuals who are attending in person will be able to attend that luncheon. We will still have the luncheon this year, and it is following CDC guidelines as well as Grandview guidelines. So we are following that boxed lunch model again for those who attended last year. That will permit for not only CDC protection, but also your own personal protection. Along with that, we will have, of course, awards for individuals who are in person that are attending the Hall of Fame. And any sort of award will also be recognized there, including DTMs. Teresa may have more to say about that during some of our open discussion. With all of these programs and everything happening in a little bit of a virtual method as well as an in-person, you may think to yourself, well, Matt, how are you accomplishing this? How is this taking place? Cindy and I have been extremely lucky to have a well-versed tech team to help us build this, as well as Grandview's resources to be able to utilize and say, we want to bring Toastmasters, District 19 Toastmasters, to all available resources. Our individuals at home, our attendees in person, and maybe even individuals who want to attend from different districts. We're very excited to have partnered with District 103 with some of their information and marketed our fall huddle to their Toastmasters. Hopefully it'll be a fantastic opportunity to network with individuals outside of our own comfort zone. We're very eager about that. For individuals who are attending in person, we have brought back the after party event. Last year, we had a good handful of Toastmasters who hung around. We were able to chit chat a little bit about what we learned from the huddle, had a couple of adult beverages, which was very, very fulfilling. And we had the opportunity to truly connect as Toastmasters. We are bringing that back this year for those individuals who are in person. And we're very excited to just in general have this event. When Cindy and I really got down to this Plan Z and really didn't want to cancel the huddle, that was our fear. That was our big fear, that we wouldn't be able to meet up or have some of our individuals present items that they are passionate about or that they have the opportunity to teach other Toastmasters for. When we got to this Plan Z, Cindy said, well, why not make it digital? Other districts across the globe are able to do it. Why not make it the first time in District 19 that we can do it? If we could make our spring district council virtual, there was no reason that we couldn't make our fall huddle virtual. We're extremely excited to have the registrations fall in line. We're extremely excited to have individuals who are ready to learn from other Toastmasters. And we are super, super excited to be bringing the 2020 Fall Huddle to a virtual platform. That is a lot of what I had to say. I know that Cindy's joining here shortly, and she may have some information based on questions or some additional items to add, but I'd love to open up some dialogue for anybody who has questions. Hearing none at the moment, maybe I could have Teresa talk a little bit about what we can expect at the Hall of Fame this year.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. How are you, Matthew?
Doing fantastic. How are you, Teresa?
Very good. Hello, fellow Toastmasters. Our Hall of Fame is going to be an amazing opportunity for us to be able to recognize all of the participants last year that had educational achievements. And I'm super thrilled to look at the awards that we're giving out, considering the kind of way that we ended with a bang. And I really believe that the opportunity to encourage one another, to offer hope for an even better year than we had, to recognize our area director of the year, the division director of the year, and the Toastmaster of the year, to be able to recognize all of those clubs and area directors that had achievements, whether it be distinguished, select distinguished, or presidential, that all of those opportunities to be able to cheer on all of the work and efforts that we've been doing over the course of this last year. And I'll tell you, they go noticed on every one of us. The fact that we have worked so hard to maintain in the midst of these times that we're living through. And I believe that this is only going to make us an even better organization. When I first began in the leadership track, clear back as an area director, I never was going to even begin to imagine all of the change that would happen. In fact, if you look at the change that we've had just over the 3 years, we were thinking, oh no, please, we don't want to go online for pathways. And it is still somewhat of a challenge, but look what we're doing. We're meeting with our entire meeting, all members online. Amazing. And that's what I really am looking forward to recognizing. Even if it is online, for anyone who's able to attend in person, I can guarantee you that it would be a safe environment, but also just the ability to be able to see our fellow Toastmasters in person. I can hardly wait for that opportunity to connect. And it's going to be a thrilling, thrilling day, Matthew. I'm so excited that you and Cindy are chairing this event. We won't be disappointed, I know that. We have too much to offer, that's for sure.
Thank you, Teresa. As mentioned, my fellow co-chair, Cindy Irvin, is also joining us. Cindy, I spoke a little bit earlier about the excitement and some of the planning that went into making the Huddle digital this year, or available via a digital platform this year, and how we kind of worked our way down the alphabet all the way down to Z for our plans. As we were planning this, what were some of the things that you were excited for while getting into the 2020 planning?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity for us to speak with you. I just want to say how excited I am for the Huddle coming up in just a few short weeks. We have one of my most excited pieces of this is not just being online, which is unbelievably exciting, but also the speakers that we have coming to share with us, the tracks with leadership, communication, and Toastmasters, and everything from how to make a humorous speech to how to work with diversity in our world today and capture that element that is going on in our society. So not only are we doing a hybrid event, which is using the online and in person to conquer and deal and cope with the actual COVID situation we're under, but also I'll just drop a name. Selu is going to be speaking to us. He is the Vice President of Diversity from Hy-Vee Corporate Offices and Incorporated. So we're really excited to have him speak with us. We have a few other names coming up soon that will talk about all different pieces of situations that we're all dealing with in the world that we live in today. So I really hope that all of you are able to join us. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and excited as I am to share this event with you.
Echoing a lot of what Cindy said there, one of the most exciting things about this year's Huddle is that we have so many new faces. I've had the opportunity a little bit before the meeting started to speak with Orville, and Orville is actually presenting our Leadership 101 program for the Huddle this year. Getting to work with Orville last year in district leadership, I know that Orville will bring a fresh take on what the Leadership 101 program is, and it's speakers like Orville and Sherry Sullivan who will be presenting, as well as Selu from Hy-Vee. We have a couple of other individuals that we are extremely excited for that'll bring a fresh new take and something different to the huddle. We're very used to seeing the familiar faces, some of us appearing at event after event, but we have this new opportunity to see someone different present and to see what those new skill sets and maybe what a veteran Toastmaster can bring to a program that will assist a younger Toastmaster, or what a new Toastmaster can spark differently in a veteran Toastmaster. We're excited to see that contrast and comparison when it comes to our speakers and the quality of the presentation. We do have quite a bit more time left. We've talked a little bit about the luncheon, the events that will be having occur. Are there any questions that we could potentially touch base on, or even some discussion that wants to occur about how to attend the huddle?
Matthew?
Sherry.
Yes, I've been hearing some grumblings about there being a fee for attending virtually.
Correct. With how our hybrid is built, we have kept the virtual attendance at $10. Since the virtual attendees do still have the same opportunities to view events that the individuals who are in person are doing, it would seem from a consistency standpoint, if we were to not charge for that online registration, we may see individuals who attend in person go, well, what was the point of being in person? We still want that same incentive to say, we have these opportunities in person, but with that virtual attendance, we still have the same utilities that the in-person attendees have as well.
Will the virtual attendees get whatever, say, printed or whatever kind of information that maybe the others get, since they're paying a fee? If there is any.
Can you clarify that question a little bit?
Okay, sometimes you go to presentations, workshops, whatever the case may be, and there's material handed out, actual concrete. And so I'm just asking, is since they're paying the same price, are things going to be sent to them either virtually or, through email or any other way?
Very good question. And Cindy and I have actually been organizing this with our presenters, that individuals who do have any sort of materials that they'll be handing out, any sort of evaluation form, any sort of in-person item that the attendee may receive for that event, virtual attendees will receive that information as well.
One more question. I don't mean to dominate this by any means. Is there, or have you considered, besides the tracks, the option of people to say pick and choose sessions they attend, a menu version?
Absolutely. And with how, and Cindy, correct me if I'm wrong based on our discussions, but this is a very a la carte event, much in the same way that it was last year. With the way that the Zoom rooms will be built, individuals will be able to jump in and out of the different tracks. We'll essentially have our communication track in one room, our leadership track in the next, and then our Toastmaster track in the final. If an individual says, oh, well, I wanted to attend the storytelling track at 11:30, but I'm really eager to see the Leadership 101 at 3 o'clock, they'll be able to jump in and out. So it is very much an a la carte event. And
Okay.
Cindy, I believe that's kind of the discussions that we had walked through.
Correct. And also we have it timed better than we did last year. Last year, some of the sessions overlapped with sessions in other rooms going on at the same time. So it was very difficult to be doing different ones at different times because they didn't synchronize so that you could go back and forth between the different options. We have made it this year so that everything follows the same timeline, so that you can be in this track here for this topic and then over to the another track for another topic and back in and back and forth. So we have made that option a lot easier for people to truly pick and choose a little more efficiently than they were able to last year.
Along with that same, oh, sorry, Mary, just a second here. Sorry about that. Along those same veins, we have provided some additional movement time, as it were, where last year we had maybe a few passing minutes in between sessions, to where now we have a good solid 10 to 15 minutes between some sessions where individuals can swap the Zoom rooms that they're in, if they're in person, take a quick restroom break, be able to socialize in person for a couple minutes before heading into their next session. Mary Schulte, you had a question.
Well, I was just curious if it's possible for someone to watch just the Hall of Fame portion without paying for it.
That is a very good question. That is something that we will definitely be happy to get an answer to offline. And then once we have a concrete answer, we'll send that out district-wide, because that is a very valid question, where if an individual who is being recognized wants to be able to see themselves recognized, but really doesn't maybe have time for the huddle, that is a very solid point, and one that we genuinely hadn't considered before. So thank you for bringing that up.
Or someone to watch someone else get awarded, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not interested in the rest of it.
Absolutely. We'll have a discussion on that actually tomorrow night with our planning group, and we'll be able to get some information out before the end of the week about it.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for bringing that question up.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Hurry.
Hi, is there a link to register and pay? Because I don't see one. I'm trying to go through registration. So how do we go about it?
Absolutely.
And it might, yeah.
Absolutely. So in the group chat here in just a moment, once the District 19 site loads up for me, I will have the Fall Huddle District 19 page ready for access. And once you pull up this page, the first link available within that web page will be the Eventbrite registration. It'll say 2020 Fall Huddle registration, and it'll take you to the Eventbrite registration page to be able to register. We do have a number of different ticket options. Please be sure that if you are selecting virtual, you'll see that it does say virtual. And if you are attending in person and hope to be there for the full day or for only portions, please do make sure that you're looking at the correct ticket option, so you aren't buying multiple for each, or so you aren't buying, say, 3 tickets in one day for an event. That's one of the items that we are seeing most frequently for the huddle, and one of the things that we will be correcting for ticket registrations currently. But just make sure that you have one ticket to your name. If you are purchasing for someone additionally, please do email either myself or Cindy for that information, and we'll be able to assist with that.
Okay, one more quick question then. So the virtual meeting is for $1 fee of $10 for the entire huddle, or just a portion of it?
That will be for all Zoom links. So individuals who have that $10 will be able to, that is essentially your admission. So that'll include the Zoom links and all of the materials that come with it that the in-person attendees would also receive.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely. I believe if anybody has any additional questions, feel free to ask. But Cindy, as we're kind of getting closer to time, what would, oh, Orville, sorry about that.
Yes, as you were talking about the cost for registration, what's it for persons who are attending in person?
For in-person attendees, it is also, if they are just looking for a general admission, that will get them access to all items without lunch if they are choosing just to attend the huddle. That'll be $10. If they are choosing to also have lunch that day, that will be $25. And then $30 for staying the entire time. So receiving a lunch at the luncheon and staying for the after event. We do also have tickets available for individuals who are just looking to attend and eat lunch at the Hall of Fame luncheon if they are hoping to receive their award in person. So that is an option available to individuals. If you are looking for that full day experience, that is that $30. But the in-person attendees, strictly $10, the same as an online attendee.
Just wondering, for the after event session, there's no way of attending virtually, or there's no option for that?
That would be correct with the way that, well, I will say we will definitely look into the potential of being able to have our virtual attendees maybe also on some sort of screen available to be a part of the virtual event for networking. With how it was built last year, we of course had a small bar area set up, just a couple of after event noshes available for individuals who wanted to have a little bite to eat before they left, but nothing too heavy. And we would be able to hopefully look at something like that for online individuals as well.
So a virtual bar and virtual snacks.
I mean, if you happen to have your own beverages at home and would love to partake while we partake, feel free. We would love to have that.
Same is true of the banquet, I assume, the virtual lunch and
Of course.
yes. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Hey, they're having virtual parties these days, so
That's right.
Very true. And we're hoping
that's
to
not
make
that
this
unusual.
exactly. We're hoping to make this the party of the fall, truly. With just a couple minutes to go before we wrap, Cindy, do you have any closing words, anything you'd like to say for Huddle as well?
I would just like to invite everybody to partake in one way or the other. I think we are going to have everything just as safe as we possibly can in the physical attendance piece. I think we're going to have lots of great information. And as wonderful as virtual is, it is always more fun in person. Besides, you'll want to see all of me, not just this fat face of mine. So please join us, have fun. If you can't be there, I totally understand, but I hope you will all join us in one way or the other.
I'll echo the same as Cindy. We are excited and hopeful that either way, whether it be virtual or in person, you attend the huddle, excuse me, that you attend the huddle and receive some sort of takeaway from it, whether it be a new inspiration for a speech, a spark of inspiration to join leadership, whether it be at your club or the district level, or even something personal for your own leadership. We're very excited to help. We're very excited to help you guys play with the building blocks of Toastmasters. And that is something that we're hoping to bring some joy into 2020 with. Just a little bit of fun with some building blocks. With that, we are pretty close to 8:30 as of right now. It's been Cindy and I appreciate you guys' time. And with that, we'll turn it back to Cindy. Or to Betty, I'm sorry. Back to Betty. You're on
Betty,
mute.
you're on mute.
I want to give you and Cindy and your planning team huge kudos for this exciting event that you have put together to us. I know it's going to be an incredible experience for all of us. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and keep in mind that the month of November is going to be advanced clubs. So we hope to have a round robin of members from the advanced clubs make a presentation for us. So enjoy your evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Matthew and Cindy, for this great presentation. And I wish you a very good evening. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Everybody.
Bye-bye, and thanks.